For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Ukraine is promising to investigate a gruesome video circulating on social media of the beheading of a Ukrainian soldier. The video spread quickly online and has sparked outrage from Ukrainian officials. Here's President Volodymyr Zelensky, his comments translated by Al Jazeera.
There's something that no one in the world can ignore, how easily these beasts kill. This video, the execution of a Ukrainian captive, the world must see it. This is a video of Russia as it is, the kind of creatures they are. There are no people for them, a son, a brother, a husband, someone's child. This is video of Russia trying to make this a new norm, such a habit of destroying life.
The Kremlin called the footage horrible but said it needed to be verified. The video shows a man in green fatigues wearing a yellow armband, typically donned by Ukrainian fighters. He's heard screeching before another man in camouflage uses a knife to decapitate him. In the U.S., Tennessee's governor is expected to sign gun control legislation in the wake of a school shooting that killed 9 people, including 3 9-year-old children. Catherine Carley reports.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee says he will sign an executive order to strengthen background checks for purchasing weapons following the recent deadly shooting at a Nashville school.
It's been a very emotionally charged couple of weeks, but we have to stay focused on the path forward. Tennesseans are depending on us.
Lawmakers have already passed school safety legislation putting armed guards in Tennessee schools. Lee is calling for an order of protection law to keep guns away from people who are a threat to themselves or others. I'm Catherine Carley for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
The move comes amidst widespread protests at the state capitol for gun control. Meanwhile, in Louisville, Kentucky, just hours away from Nashville, police have released body camera footage of their response to the mass shooting at a bank that killed 5 and injured 8. Police Tuesday said the shooter was an employee who was going to be fired and had purchased an AR-15 rifle a week before the shooting legally. The city's Democratic mayor, who says he survived a workplace shooting, called for the Republican-controlled state legislature to enact changes in law so his city could pass gun control measures.
Please change our state law to let Louisville make its own decisions about reducing the amount of illegal guns on our streets and gun violence that is killing far too many people in mass shootings, in individual shootings, in any shootings.
Craig Greenberg was joined by Kentucky Progressive Democratic Congressman Morgan McGarvey, who said gun control shouldn't be a political issue.
But it becomes one when Kentucky Republicans would rather ban books and pronouns and then make Kentucky a sanctuary state for weapons.
There's been 147 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, according to the Gun Violence Archives. A coalition of environmental groups is suing the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency over water pollution from oil refineries and petrochemical industries. The lawsuit says the EPA violated the Clean Water Act by not requiring updates to wastewater standards and instead has given industries a free pass to pollute. Christopher Martinez has more.
Under the Clean Water Act, the Environmental Protection Agency is supposed to set new water pollution standards for certain chemicals every 5 years as technologies improve. But some standards have not been updated since the 1970s. Limits on water pollution from refineries were last updated in 1985. The lawsuit says the EPA has failed to set modern wastewater controls for 7 industries, including oil refineries and factories that make plastics, fertilizers, and pesticides. Duggan says those are some of the dirtiest industries around.
The pollution standards for these industries are ancient. They're nearly 40 years old in some cases.
Jen Duggan is Deputy Director of Environmental Integrity Project, representing the plaintiffs in the case. They say outdated EPA standards let refineries and petrochemical plants spew billions of gallons of wastewater each year laden with chemicals like cyanide, mercury, benzene, and chlorides.
If our lawsuit is successful, we'll be on a path to cleaning up toxic and harmful nutrient pollution from more than 1,100 plants across the country.
I'm Christopher Martinez.
The Biden administration is proposing strict new automobile pollution limits that would require as many as 2/3 of new vehicles sold in the U.S. to be electric by the year 2032. That's a near tenfold increase over current electric vehicle sales. The proposed regulation at the EPA would set tailpipe emissions limits that Administrator Michael Reagan have called the most ambitious pollution standards ever for cars and trucks. He also said it would lower fuel and maintenance costs for families. Lawmakers from the U.S. and Australia have sent letters to the Department of Justice demanding the U.S. drop its persecution of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, who published leaked classified government documents that in part detailed potential U.S. war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.